Hi everyone, I hope everybody's okay and having a lovely Christmas so far. Today is Wednesday the 26th of December, which in the UK we would call Boxing Day. I've got quite a lot to show you. I'm quite impressed with myself that I'm doing a video so soon after my last one, given my previous track record. I've got quite a lot to show, quite a few purchases again, but I am attempting to join Stitch from Stash again. You can all feel free to laugh because we know how successful that was last year. Anyway, I've got some FFOs, some pictures of FFOs, and quite a few whips, new starts, and yeah, just bits and bobs really. So I'll start with my FFOs. This is Angel Abode by Good Flora Stitchwort, and I finished this earlier this year, and I've made it into quite a flat pillow, and just with some grey fabric for the back. But I'm not sure how I feel about this. I would like to put some trim on it, but I've not actually done that yet, and I can't seem to find chenille trim here, or what would it just be wool? I don't know. I'm not just chenille wool, I'm not sure, but everybody I've gone and asked about, they just look at me blankly. But so I'll just try and find something suitable, but I quite like the way it's turned out, except for I'm not sure if I like the flatness of the pillow. Then I finished my Lither by the Primitive Hair, and I've used the same fabric as I have done for another bee pillow that I finished, but I've actually tried to make things look a little bit different by bringing the fabric round the front with some ribbon, and then it's just the same on the back. But yeah, I quite like the way this one has turned out. Then I took part in the Dixie Sampler Exchange, and I was working on this last video. It was a Blackbird's design stocking from a Just Cross Stitch magazine, which I can't remember which one, maybe 2004, I can't remember, but I'll put it on the screen. So I'd sent that off and it was received, and I'll insert a picture here of my finish. And this is what I received. You only had to send a card and an actual stitched item, and that was it, which was quite good. So this is by Vicky Knoll, and she was my partner, sorry, and this is what she made for me. Yeah, everything's covered in cat hair. So yeah, I absolutely love this, and this is a Pineberry Lane, I think. Yeah, it's called A Sprig of Holly, and it's in the Primitive Needle and Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine from 2016, the winter 2016. So I'm just reading it in a card. So yeah, I love this. Yeah, so that's that. Then I also made my friend a Christmas present, which was supposed to be for last year, for last Christmas, then her birthday, and I finally finished it for her this year. So I'll insert a picture here. She hasn't got it up on the wall yet, but when I do, I'll take a video or something, so it goes quite well with her decor. This frame I actually got from a supermarket at Asda, and it was almost like a piece of linen stuck to the back of the board, and then it had some string and some of those little pegs you could and then pin your own photos. So I took it apart, ripped the string off, removed the pegs, and then I mounted it's Afternoon in New York by Country Cottage Needleworks, and I mounted it on some mat board with some what do you call it, some wadding type thing, and then glued it to the back. It's not perfectly straight, but I was really pleased the way it turned out. And then finishes, but this is not an FFO. This is Spooky Row by Bent Creek, and I finally finished this just after my last upload. So yeah, I love the way this has turned out, and I have ordered the buttons, so I'm just waiting for those to be put on, and then I would like to get this one framed. So I started quite a few things over November and December, but I didn't get as much Christmas stitching done as I would have liked. I was wanting to finish my friend's Christmas present, and I hated working on it because I had to work on it, and I just wanted to get it done, but I was also very, very busy at work, and there was a lot of nights that I couldn't stitch, or a lot of weekends. I also was doing a crafty Christmas for the secretaries at work who I sit with, and I decided to make them paper mache baubles, and I did 3 each, and there's 5 of them, so it was quite a lot of work. Yeah, we tried to do crafty Christmas. Well, when I say we, there's only a few of us that tried to do crafty Christmas, but anyway, so that took quite a lot of time. Then I did some sewing. I was procrastinating quite a lot as well, not wanting to do the stitching, and I literally finished it on the day I gave it to her. I mean, the glue was still wet when she was unwrapping it. I made her unwrap it because I wanted to see her face, but yeah, she really liked it. Anyway, this is some of my new starts were also purchases, but this is all bundled up by With Thy Needle and Thread. I love this when I first saw it, and I also bought Candy Cane Wishes as well, because a lot of the colours in here are also in here. So when I ordered the threads, it should, fingers crossed, hopefully do both of them. But anyway, yeah, so these are all the threads. The colours are absolutely beautiful. And I also I'm stitching this on it's Haunted by Picture This Plus. It's not as mottled as what it's showing on the screen, but also I stopped this because I wasn't very pleased how the leaf turned out, because that's actually two colours of thread, 2 different colours of thread. But then I've looked at other people's, see if you can see, I've looked at other people, so it's this leaf here I've done. I've looked at other people's starts, and theirs looks the same, so I think I should just carry on and just forget about it, stop obsessing, just get it done. Then I think this looks quite Christmassy. It looks like a Christmas tree to me rather than just a topiary tree. And this is Tenenbaum Topiary by the Drawn Thread. This is all done in silk, and I am actually doing it in silk, but not the called for silks except for one, only because I love the way it looks, which is the bow at the top. I've ordered that. That's Dinky Dyes Cherry Ripe, and then the rest of the ones I'm using are by Thread Pickers. I finally started to receive my threads after I received 1 pack after I joined, and that was after chasing, and then she went months and months and months without sending any, or months without replying to emails, but we're finally starting to get something now. So yeah, the bow at the top is actually 1/1, and also the thread that I've got doesn't look as nice as the picture on the front, so that sort of put me off a little bit. But yeah, I do like the way it's stitching up. This is a lot of speciality stitches as well. Well, not a lot, but a few speciality stitches with the drawn thread as well. Then this one, I saw this on Stash and Load, the UK version of the Stash and Load group on Facebook, and I saw this in September, October, and somebody was selling the Lavender and Lace Secret Santa. Is it called Secret Santa? So Lavender and Lace Secret Santa, and they were actually selling the kit, and it was and I loved it. I love traditional Santas. And I left it for actually absolutely ages. It was being sold for £35, I think, and it's all kitted up, except for I think there's some Krynic missing. But this also calls for the needle paint threads, which are no longer produced. But anyway, so that was my excuse to start this. I wanted to just see what the needle paint threads are like. They're really thin compared to DMC, and I'm actually using 3 strands. It doesn't say in the instructions how many strands. I presume you're only supposed to use 2, but it was this is 28 count. When I started to stitch with just 2 strands, you could see too much of the background fabric, and because it's a Christmas tree, I wanted it to look quite dense. So I'm hoping that I will have enough to do it all, but if not, I will figure out something. But yeah, I liked the way this is stitched up, but I didn't get very far, and I just love him though, but hopefully I'll be able to work on him soon. And then this was also another purchase, and I fell in love with this when I first saw it, which is Merrily Merrily We Welcome Spring by Blackbird Designs. Absolutely just my jaw hit the floor when I saw this. But I think that with a lot of other people, I just think of it as a Christmas design. I don't know why. There's absolutely nothing on there that is Christmassy. But yeah, I think it's beautiful. But I am doing this I'm trying to use up my threads that I've got rather than buying new, and I've got quite a lot of Victorian Motto threads. So far I think I'm missing a few that I couldn't really match up, or I just looked at the front cover and then just sort of picked it, but I think they look nice. And then I'll just carry on and then just add in what I think. I only started it, that's all I've done. This is 36 count Dr. Smith's Tonic by Sparklies. This I had a big enough piece. I did have a piece of Oaken, which is what the chart calls for, but it was literally 1/4 of an inch on each side. But I quite like the way this is looking on this piece of fabric. So, and I'm actually doing this with 1 strand over 2 rather than my usual 2 over 2, and I do actually quite like it. There are some things that I've been working on where I'm doing 2 over 2 on 36 count, but I'm not enjoying them as much because I think it feels a bit bulky. I've never thought that before, but only since the last few. Also the bundled up is done on 36 Haunted, and I'm doing 1 over 2 on that as well, and I was quite surprised by the coverage. I suppose it will see with the white on that one because there's a lot on the snowman, and I've chose a darker fabric, but they suggest using 1 strand, so that's what I'm going to do. And it's not as bad as what I thought it would be, and it's easy. I can do this in hand. So I'm contemplating restarting some of my other things because I've just not been enjoying them. Some of my other things that I'm doing 2 strands over 2 on 36 count, and one of them being Black Sky, which but I'm just not enjoying that at the moment. But anyway, but yeah, this is Merrily We Welcome Spring. Then I worked a little bit on Pomegranate Santa by Plum Street Samplers. This is one I did want to get finished, but I just wanted to start everything else. I've not done a lot on this, but this is where I am now, so at least I've started the sledge. Yeah, I love this one. Then I started Glitter Village by Country Cottage Needleworks. Again, I didn't get very far with this, but I'm doing this on one piece of fabric. I hope you can see that it's sparkly. One thing I'm not doing is I am not doing the white border around the house, and I don't like the light around the door and the wood. I'm not sure, but I'll sort of do it as I go along, because I love the blue and I wanted to see more of the blue rather than stitch the white. Who wants to stitch white anyway? But anyway, yeah, I've just received my second one. We're always about a month, 6 weeks behind the US, so when I got this, the second one had already been released, and I think the third one's being released or very soon to be released. But yeah, anyway, there's that. And then this I started just after my last Flosstube video. And this is Santa's Flight. In my last video I called this Christmas candy because I'd read the back, but that's actually a recipe for Christmas candy. So this is Santa's Flight by Shepherd's Bush. Now, I'm not doing these as single piece, cross stitches. I'm doing this all on one piece of fabric. When I bought this, I bought it as a kit without the threads, so it came with the charms and all of the fabric. So I've just got the fabric in my stash. So I am, like I say, doing this on one piece of fabric, and this is, I think it's Lorcan. Is it Lorcan by Sparklies? And this is 32 count. This is an even weave. I can't remember what the name of the fabric is. It doesn't sound right, but it could be. I'll put it on the screen anyway. Yeah, and again I am just trying to use up my threads that I've got, so I'm using Victorian Motto threads for this one. I've done the reason why the snow looks like this is because I just wanted to map out each one so I could make it work, and then I'm just trying to fill. I've not done a lot obviously, but hopefully I will. This is what I'm working on today, and I was working on it yesterday on Christmas Day a little bit. I managed to pick it up for about 10 minutes. So yeah. So that is all of my stitchy whips. I've made some new project bags, and thought I was purchasing a pincushion and needle book already made up, but what I did actually end up buying was a needle book and pincushion kit. I didn't see the word kit when I bought it, but anyway, so when it came I was like, oh, and then I thought, don't be daft, you've got a sewing machine, you can make a project bag, so why couldn't you make these? And so that's exactly what I did. And here they are. So sorry, everything's just covered in cat hair, I don't know why. This is my needle cushion, pin cushion, needle cushion. Yes, that's my pin cushion, and this is my needle book. I was after a needle book so I could just put my needles all in one place rather than just have little bits all over the place. So yeah, so I'm pleased with how they've turned out. I won't show you project bags because you're bored of those by now, I'm sure. So that's everything I have worked on this month, last 6 weeks, I think, 5 weeks, who knows. But of course I've got quite a few purchases, and I've taken them out of the of the bags, because last time my video when I watched it back it was just Russell. So I've taken everything out of the bag. So this, I've just shown this. This is Candy Cane Wishes by With Thy Needle and Thread, and then I've got this fabric. This is Sparkly's Sunlit Forest, and this is 36 count. And like I was saying earlier, that I can use my threads from all bundled up to do this one. It calls for 40 count, but I think 36 will be fine for this one. I love this little series. I think they're really sweet. I'd like to get the Santa. Then I found a French website, and they were doing a sale on some Plum Street sampler charts, and they were like half price really. So I ordered quite a few. Well, 4. I ordered 4. Could it be 5? Maybe I ordered 5. No, I ordered 4. And this is Plum Street Samplers Pretty Pleasures 1756. And this is George Washington. And I just think this is really sweet. These are older designs. When is this from? 2012. So it's the old style design. But I just thought this was so sweet. Yeah. And then there was this one, which is part of the exemplary collection, Eulalie Long 1789. And again, I just thought this was absolutely beautiful. And this one is from 2011. This is an actual photo. Yeah, and I've got some just platinum 40 count. I just want to use up things that I've got rather than trying to buy extra. Then this one, I've liked this one for a long time. This is The Promised Lamb, and this is 2013, and I've loved this since I saw it on Paulette's blog. Now, I am not at all religious, but this one is fairly religious, so there are some things that that I will change about this one, but I'll just come to that when I see it. But I love the reindeer and the bird. I just think it's so sweet, and I love this wreath here. Yeah, and I've got some 40 count antique white, which I'm going to Rick dye because I think it calls for almost like a grey colour. So I'm gonna do that myself. I can't remember the name of the colour that it calls for. And then I've also picked up Cotton Bird by Plum Street Samplers. This is from 2017, and I am going to do this on 36 count Grandma's Slip by Jude Designs. You can't really see the mottling in that. Yeah, so that one's quite sweet as well. That's a small one, but the others are, 2 of them are quite big. So yeah. Then I have been watching Stitching Social, which are the 2 Canadian sisters, Strawberry Stitcher and Simply X Stitching on Instagram. I just love those 2 girls. I love their dynamic. I love Canadians anyway, but yeah, they're very, very nice girls. And Strawberry Stitcher, I can't remember her name, sorry, she had stitched this one on some blue fabric, and I just fell in love, so I had to order it. And this is Little House Neighbourhood by Little House Needleworks, and I'd like to, hope you don't mind, but I will be copying your blue fabric because I just thought it was beautiful. And I liked the fact that you changed some of the colours, so I might actually contact you for the conversion if that's okay. Yeah, so really pleased with that one. Got this one from So and So in the UK. It took quite a while to come because it was out of stock for ages. And then this is another Plum Street. I got this from Peakside Needleworks, and this is a Yuletide Welcome. this is absolutely massive, and I'd already ordered this, and then Saltbox Stitcher had shown it, and I just loved it. So this is from 2012 again, and I just think this is really sweet. It's absolutely massive. Why can't I never just pick anything small? And then I've got some fabric here, because it calls for, it calls for some, should I find out? It calls for vintage buttercream. Vintage buttercream by Lakeside Linens, which is just impossible to get here in the UK without ordering it from 123 Stitch or another US needlework shop. But anyway, this looks much more mottled on screen than what it does in real life. And this is actually this is 32 count by, it's Chromatic Alchemy, and this was originally green, but it's my very first piece from their Fabric of the Month Club, and it's Belladonna, and I didn't really like it, so I just bleached it to then do just another colour over the top, and it turned out into this really fab colour. So I just thought, vintage buttercream, that will actually look quite nice on that. It's really sorry, the light's not great, but yeah, I think because the picture does actually look quite yellow. Well, this is Nicola Parkman's trick, put a piece of white next door, and then it does show the colour better. So yeah, I think that will look quite nice on there. And again, I'm going to try and use up threads that I've already got, rather than buying. I'll show you how many Victorian motto sampler threads I've got. Then I'd seen this recently finished on Instagram, but I can't for the life of me remember who it was that I'd seen. Maybe it was just because I follow the tag Plum Street Samplers. Anyway, this is a red cottage, and this is from 2013. Absolutely love this. I've not picked any fabric for it yet, but it does say it's vintage Meadow Rue, Lakeside Linens again. But yeah, and this is 98 by 91, so it's not actually that big. I think some of her designs are quite deceiving. You think they look big, but they're not, and then others are absolutely massive. So yeah, love that. Then I picked up Heaven and Nature Sing by Kathy Barrack. I've loved this for ages, but I'd also ordered, last year I bought Deary and Darling, and that's by Kathy Barrack, but it's got a deer and a baby deer in it, and I love that. And I was toying up the idea whether to get this, but I never did because 2 deers and all the rest of it. But anyway, I saw Marlene Stitching by the Lakes finish in her last video, and I just was, well, gotta have it, so I ordered it, and I love it. I haven't picked any fabric or anything like that yet. I've actually changed my Sparklies Fabric of the Month Club to 40 count. So I've reduced, I used to have 32 count Murano and 36 count linen, but I've just gone down to the one, because it was like the two clubs, so it was just, I've just gone down to one, and it's 2 pieces of 40 count, I think 13, or anyway, whatever, half of a, I can't remember, 13 by 18 maybe, or 14 by, something like that anyway, I can't remember. Yeah, so I think one of those newest pieces that I've had will work for this. And that's, yeah, so I've just, sorry, I'm all over the place, I can't think, I think one of those pieces will actually work for this. So yeah, so can't wait to do this sometime in my lifetime. And then I was lucky enough to be able to get a copy of Joyeux Noel by Blackbird Designs. This was on eBay and marked as good condition, 2 pages slightly marked and bent. Wow, yeah, I would not describe this as 2 pages slightly marked and bent. I'll hold it back here, but I'm hoping you can see the page is ripped. I didn't pay that much for it, but it's absolutely disgusting. Can you see how dirty it is? And even there was a dead fly here at one point. They're just it must have been dropped on the floor. There's a boot print mark. Yeah, but anyway, I've got a copy. I've wanted this for 'tis the season. I have nearly bought the other one where this is reprinted in it, but I've always wanted this one because I love the oh, where is it now? So there's the 'tis the season that I want to do. Can you see how grubby? I know it's second hand, but yeah. I love this love letters, and I also love the main page picture. I love that. I paid £18 for it, so I can't complain, I know, but yeah, I wouldn't describe it as good condition, slightly marked. But anyway, it's mine now and it's fine. But I have ordered, I used the conversion that was on the Geary's Homestead, is it the Geary's Homestead blog? Somebody had gone in and compared the silks to, no, it wasn't from their blog, but it was from somebody else's blog, but I found the conversion on theirs. And anyway, somebody had gone into a needlework shop and got the silks and then compared it to cotton over dyes, but they'd actually chosen wild berries for the bird, but that's more pink. When I ordered them, I ordered the 2 so I could see, but the Geary's blog changed theirs to Turkish red, so that's what I've done. So there's the wild berries, and then that's the Turkish red. But I mean, it doesn't look, I think it looks more red than it does pink, so that's the one I'm going with. And then I've also ordered some, this is Picture This Plus Dwarf, and this is 40 count, I think, could be 36, I can't remember. So I'm going to be doing this on this piece of fabric. Finally, I was able to get hold of a copy of Horse Country Holiday by Artful Offerings, and I would never have picked this up if I hadn't have seen Michelle Farmgirl's conversion to the more, well, not her conversion, but the Country Sampler, is it? Their conversion of this chart. I wouldn't have picked it up if I hadn't have seen Michelle's Michelle stitching it up, should I say. And she's done hers on 36 count brash by Picture This Plus, and I actually had a piece. I mean, I never have the fabric, but I had this, which I was quite pleased about. So this is my brush. This is I think looking quite, no, that's quite true to colour actually. So I've just gone and found some threads that I think might work from my Victorian Motto sampler ones that I've got. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing that one. That's a sale on the Midwest Cross Stitchers group on Facebook, which they very kindly let me join. So yeah, I'd like to start that one this year, because even though it says holiday. I don't think it's necessarily Christmassy. It's wintry, but anyway, I love the winter. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. Yeah, so these are all of my Victorian motto threads that I've got, and I've tried to sort them out into sort of groups of colouring. So I do have quite a few. I've got lots of yellows and lots of greens. These are browns. I've got, and because you just get so many pinks and reds, you know, they're lovely to look at, but they're no good if you're not going to use them. Or you could throw them on the floor. There's my purples and then my blues. So out of all of these so far, I've kitted up, there's Babushka's Bees, there is Merrily Merrily We Welcome Spring, there is the Horse Country Holiday, and then I am using them in the Shepherd's Bush Santa's Flight. So once you start, it gets easier to you know, because you don't necessarily want to break up the loveliness of them. But yeah, I've just got to start to use everything that I've bought, because what's the point? Yeah, I'm not in the club any longer. Other threads that I've got, so these are from either what was left over from projects that I've already finished, or things that I'd ordered, purchased and de-kitted and got rid of the chart. So these are my classic colour works. These are my gentle arts. So I haven't got that many, but I should have enough to be able to kit up some other things from not the necessarily called for, the called for threads. And these are my weeks threads, because I ordered all the Victorian motto ones that I got. I'd ordered that great big 50 pack, I think, from eBay. That was just incredibly good value, and I'd always wanted to try them, and then me and my friend Christina had joined then the Floss of the Month club. These are my silks. They seem a bit bright, but honestly some of them aren't that bright, they're more muted. These are my thread pickers silks that they come all twisted up, and I put them on some thread drops that I make, and then just untwirl them and cut them just so they're easier to use. These are some dinky dies that I've got left from a pack that I bought. And then, I don't know why I've done this, but these are, I bought a kit on eBay, and it was the, what was it? It was from the Drawn Thread, and it was one with the all to a season, something like that. And anyway, the whole thing, it cost me £40, and it was for the fabric, the chart, and all of the silks, and they're needlepoint silks, and I've put them all in bags. I don't know why. It was just easier to manhandle, I suppose. And these are like £7 each, I think, here. Those aren't them. Oh, there's some dinky dies as well. I've bought some other silk threads. That was from My Big Toe design, and I took the silks. It was cheaper to buy them that way than it was to buy them separately, bizarrely enough. And it's just a way of me being able to get some silk threads, because that Kathy Barrack one is done in MPIs. So yeah, this is some when I ordered the Dinky Dye, not Dinky Dye, Silks For You, the grab bag of the things she had left over from when she was Dinky Dyes. There were some really bright colours in there, or some really variegated. It was like purple, cream and blue or something like that, all in one. So I just dyed them, and then I've ended up with this bluey black, which is more usable to me than, you know, as lovely as it is. That's why I dyed a lot of my, well, in fact I can show you. These are variations of how the black dye is taken for my Jodery design threads, and these are how these are the varieties of colours that they come in, and I'm just never ever going to use them. I've only got a few. These are all that's left. They're just not, I'm much more likely to use them like this than this, and that to me is what it's all about, is to use the stuff that you buy, not just have them to look at. And then I've got this great big, I bought a hank of from Silks For You, of the way I cut it up. A great big hank of Silks For You from Silks For You, and this was to do a long dog sampler piece that I don't particularly, well, I don't want to do anymore. Yeah, so there's absolutely stacks of it, so I don't know what actually to do with all of this yet. I'll find something. There's just loads of it. Yeah, so I have got a lot of things. So I've kept up with this club if she carries on, you know, regularly. Thread Pickers, if she regularly keeps the group going, keeps it going every month, because I would like to build up a stash of these so I can use them. They are very nice actually. Yeah, so that's it for all my threads. Sorry if that's boring. Again, I'll just go off on a tangent. And I think that is everything. I have got to do a drawing for my giveaway for my, was it 1 year anniversary? Yeah, so I will insert a picture of the person who has won here, and I will be in touch to find out what sort of colours or themes of fabric that you like. Anyway, I hope everybody has a lovely rest of the year, and I hope that 2019 is a good year for people. I haven't got any plans yet other than I just want to stitch. I hope everybody has a lovely rest of the year and a pleasant new year. I'm not really into New Year, and January is always a very, very depressing month where I work. It's our busy season. It's also the anniversary, the second anniversary of my mum's passing. So I always like to just get January out of the way. Yeah. So anyway, Happy New Year everybody, and I will see you next year. I'm going to try to be better. Oh God, I say that every time I say that. I'm a very bad floss tuber, but I'm going to try and do my best at recording more frequently, and hopefully being able to stitch from stash. I've given myself a £25 budget, and I started off that last year as well. But every video I just had stacks of purchases But oh, I have ordered, I had some money for Christmas, so I was shopping on the internet yesterday, as you do Christmas Day, and I ordered some shepherd's bush kits from Fables, and I'll insert a picture of them here. I think I ordered 5, and then I got one off eBay. I've either got 5 or 6, I can't remember. But they're all kits. I just love shepherd's bush. I know it's they're older charts, but I just love how they look. Yeah, and I'd like to get my I do want to do some more Christmas stitching, because I feel like I would like some. I've missed it this month early. I've not been doing much festive stitching, and I'd like to carry on that until I can't bear it anymore, because I'd like to actually have some things put up that are Christmassy. Yeah, I'm just rambling now as I always do. Anyway, Happy New Year everybody, and I will see you in January, I hope, fingers crossed, without any purchases, I hope. Anyway, bye everyone.